Hi everyone, today we have another case of costochondritis, and not with every case, but some cases, usually the more difficult cases, we do cold laser therapy. Cold laser therapy is a game changer with costochondritis because it's the only thing that can reduce inflammation directly in that area that you're treating. Obviously there's anti-inflammatories you can take that work systemically throughout the body, but this is safe, it's effective, and it works directly over the area that we're treating. And we're not going to get into all the difficulties treating or just getting diagnosed with costochondritis. Just getting that diagnosis is complicated in and of itself. But we're going to just show you how we find areas of inflammation specifically from costochondritis in the chest wall region here. So what we're going to do is scan his chest. And we just did our first laser treatment yesterday, correct?
Yep.
So how did it feel?
I felt good since yesterday.
Okay. And we're going to continue with 1,000 hertz. So you see I went down by his stomach. The reason for that is I want to go away from the area of inflammation to get a baseline. And we're just going to scan the rib cage and chest wall here. And if you see or hear a beep, I could tell if it's a false alarm or if it's a real reading. But it tells me if there's any inflammation or soft tissue damage. And there we go. And that's a real reading. It's turned blue, the light. So we're going to go ahead and dose that area. And that just happens to be one of his sensitive spots. And most of your sensitivity is on one side, correct?
Yep, it's all on the left side.
So some people have it on both sides. Some people have it on one side. It's different for everybody. And there was a short dosing time. And we're going to scan it again. And it might beep again over the same spot. It's common for it to do that. So we'll go over it a couple times. So not only does it find areas of inflammation and soft tissue damage, it tells me how long to treat it for as well. And we're going to scan, and that was quick too. We just saw him yesterday, and a lot of people ask me, is it safe to do laser daily? Yes, it is. In fact, it's safe to do it twice in a day. As long as it's 6 to 8 hours apart, you're fine, but it is safe and it's more effective if you do it daily. I know a lot of people get laser treatment, maybe they're doing it once a week. Probably not going to be enough, honestly. You might need more than once a week, especially if you're dealing with a chronic condition like costochondritis. The other thing it's commonly used for is carpal tunnel syndrome. It's FDA approved now for carpal tunnel syndrome. It's extremely effective for carpal tunnel syndrome. So if you have that, try cold laser. And you don't feel anything, do you?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, at first you feel a little bit of cold from the laser itself, from the metal sensors on the bottom. That's about it. That goes away pretty quickly. It warms up, and most people don't feel anything. So you hear that beep, it's done dosing in that area, and we're going to go ahead and scan the rest of this left side.
That's the other problem area right there.
Yeah. And we've had to adjust ribs. So in some costochondritis cases, we adjust the ribs as well as the thoracic spine. We're going to do that here today. And in some cases, the clavicle. Every case is different. It just depends on what caused the injury or what accumulation of injuries that particular person has. This laser really helps us just speed the process up, the healing process up much faster. And it's still dosing this area right underneath your clavicle, right?
Yep, and that's typically my most chronic problem area.
Okay, so right here is his most sensitive area, he was saying. So this laser here is a 50-watt laser. Not all lasers have impedance meters where they can scan and check for inflammation and soft tissue damage. That's really unique patent to this particular laser by Multi-Radiance Medical. We have another Multi-Radiance laser over there, but that one does not have an impedance meter. It's an older version. This is a newer version, and this also has sweeps, so I'm able to do multiple frequencies at once. So we'll get there with him. We're just using 1,000 right now just to calm the nerves down, calm the inflammation down, the muscle spasms, and the pain. And then we'll get a little deeper with the laser, and we'll use more of a sweep of different frequencies that target the soft tissue.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Any thoughts on purchasing your own laser? Because I know they sell them on Amazon, for example, but I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, good question. So he asked about purchasing lasers. I would be careful. There are a lot of LEDs out there. They're not lasers. An LED and a a laser are different. If you have any questions about lasers, I did a video that really gets in depth about lasers and the difference between lasers and LEDs. And you should check that video out because that'll help you understand the difference between like a hot and a cold laser, and then you can be more educated and get the right laser. I don't know about getting a laser on Amazon. I don't know that I would ever do that. I don't even buy my electronic toothbrush on Amazon anymore because it dies after like 3 months. I go directly to Oral-B and I buy it. That's just something I noticed when I buy things on Amazon. The batteries, electronic stuff don't work well. I just wouldn't do that. There are many brands. Multi-Radiance sells an entry-level laser. So we have rental lasers, and you can buy the rental lasers, and those run about $5,000. So those are more reasonably priced, and they have 3 ranges of frequencies. It's not going to be a sweep like this one. This is a $15,000 laser right here, but you could still get a really great laser for a couple $1,000s. So to answer your question, it's a little trickier than just going and buying a laser.
Yeah.
So for you folks thinking about buying one, I would use that laser extensively before you actually go and buy it. That's what's nice about ours. You can rent them, try it out, and then if you wanted to buy one, you could buy one new. And they're only $50 a day to rent, so that's something to consider too. So now we're scanning the outside of his pec muscle or the chest wall. We're gonna go across, and there you go, it beeped again. So it's not finished dosing there. Typically we're gonna find it in the inside of the chest where the cartilage is, where the costochondral, the cartilage and the rib itself meet. But we do get people with costochondritis spreading out towards the armpit, across the front of the chest, and very common to have it into the shoulder and chest, and even wrap around the side of the rib cage. You don't have it on the side here, do you?
Not usually.
Okay.
And the worst flares, sometimes it'll spread out, but
Okay.
it's typically closer to the sternum.
So he said if it really flares up bad, he might have it a little bit on the outside, but for the most part, it's more on the inside. And that's typical. Again, real chronic cases, though, it's spread throughout and oftentimes on both sides. Very debilitating. So if you have that, there is hope. Okay, cold laser is the answer for you. Get that done, and don't do it once a week. Do it multiple times, at least 3 times a week. And there you go, it's done dosing there. We're gonna scan the rest of the chest here. That was a false alarm. And we're just touching up. We're going through all the areas, scanning them over multiple times. Again, if there's a lot of hair on the chest, we wanna make sure we're thorough. But this is a great tool for costochondritis. It really doesn't get any better than this. So if you're suffering, if you've been to a chiropractor, been to a physical therapist, been to all sorts of doctors, and you're not getting the help you want or need, this is definitely an option. I don't know too many places that rent lasers, and there you go, another spot here right in the pec muscle. It's certainly worth calling around and asking your local doctors. Usually physical therapists or chiropractors are the ones that are using cold laser therapy. That's it. I haven't seen any medical doctors using them. So, schedule a series of treatments over 2 to 3 week period, 3 to 4 times a week, and let us know. Make a comment below in this video and let us know how you're doing. Thank you guys so much. If you got anything from this video, or even if you just like this view of the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building, give me a like and don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate you guys.